Hey guys, what is up? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another figure review where today I'm honestly borderline speechless. I'm so excited. We're finally taking a look at this Infinity Saga 2-pack. In my recent videos, I've spoke about how I had quite a lot of the Infinity Saga figures pre-ordered. We did recently take a look at the Mark III Iron Man and the Infinity Saga Quicksilver from Age of Ultron. In those videos, I explained how I also had Endgame Thor / Fat Thor, but we're not fat shaming here. Endgame Thor and this 2-pack pre-ordered, and they've both finally arrived. So in this video, we are taking a look at the Infinity Saga 2-pack, and it looks amazing. I might even dare to say, and I don't want to jump the gun, but it might be two of the best Marvel Legends ever released. I don't know. I say that not because of the articulation. I think they have reused body molds, but the sculpt on these guys look insane. The head sculpts especially just, oh, they look awesome. The paint and everything. I cannot wait to get these guys out of the packaging, but before we do, let me know down below. I want to know what your favourite figure is of all time. It can be any figure. For me, I think it probably has to be, I mean, it's a really hard choice, but maybe the Scooter Pizza Spider-Man from Toy Biz for the Spider-Man 2 film. I think that has to be my all-time favourite, but I don't know. Let me know what your guys' favourite figure is down in the comments section below, and while you're down there guys, if you could do me a massive favour, hit that like button, and if you're feeling extra kind, hit that subscribe button as well. So let's not wait any longer. Let's finally get into this Infinity Saga 2-pack. And here we have this massive Infinity Saga 2-pack box. Oh man, it looks so good. It looks very similar to the boxes that we've previously looked at from this Infinity Saga series. However, it is a 2-pack, so it's massive. At the top we have Avengers Endgame, Iron Man Mark, I have no clue, is it 85? Is that the Mark 85? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanos, Avengers Endgame, then we have the packaging of the figures. Once again, Iron Man, Thanos, Infinity Saga in the middle, Avengers logo. We then have the artwork that we've seen over and over from this series. Same on this side, and then on the back we get a read-up. So we have the Avengers Endgame poster. Love the poster, love the colours. And we have Iron Man Mark, let me know down below. Iron Man steps onto the battlefield against Thanos in the ultimate fight for the fate of the universe. Then over here we have Thanos. Thanos is a destructive force that will stop at nothing to achieve his goals. Awesome, great box, but let's get into the figures. So after, no joke, maybe 10 minutes, I've finally gotten Iron Man to stand. Had to play around with his legs a lot, and I'm fully expecting him to fall over. I don't know what the issue is. This foot joint seems a bit weird to try and balance out with this one, and yeah, there you go. It's so difficult. I do not know what to do to actually get him to stand up straight. But there's something going on, and it's doing my head in. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at all of Iron Man's accessories, we'll take a closer look at him, and then we'll do the exact same for Thanos, who is hopefully a little bit easier to stand. I really wish he would just stand up while I do this. There we go, stay. Please, please. So we get this Tony Stark head sculpt, and wow. This is incredible. I mean, this is up there with the best head sculpt that Marvel Legends has ever done. If it's not the best, the only one that I can think of that would beat it would be the Hugh Jackman Wolverine figure. This is honestly incredible. Just, it nails Robert Downey Jr.'s likeness to a T. There's no doubt who this is, and I actually think, besides from Hot Toys, this is the best Tony Stark head sculpt any figure's ever done. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, but I don't own any, so I can't speak on it too much. But from the pictures I've seen of the likes of Mayfex and SH Figuarts, this blows them out the water. This absolutely annihilates them. And for the price that you pay for the SH Figuarts and the Mayfex, I honestly can't believe this has came from Marvel Legends. A lot of people always dog on Marvel Legends because they are the cheap alternative to these figures, but I mean, when they're producing quality such as this, I mean, how can you even argue? This is fantastic. So I love this head sculpt. Then we get the Iron Man Mast head sculpt, and this looks great. It doesn't look quite as good as the Mark III Iron Man head sculpt that we just recently looked at from the same wave. Maybe it's just personal preference. Slightly darker gold, maybe, different red. But yeah, I think it's a decent sculpt, but yeah, it's just not the best, but it's great. It is really nice. I do like it. I think comparing it to the Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt, nothing is going to beat that. That is just fantastic. Although straight away it looks a bit bigger. I suppose his hair is all going to be flattened in this, but yeah, this one looks a bit bigger than this one. And of course, he fell over. Maybe they just assumed that he was going to be in his kneeling I am Iron Man pose, but he's not. We've got this thing, this big Iron Man weapon, which I'm presuming will slot into a hand. Really like the blue in this, really nice colours there. The red looks alright, decent detail, not overly detailed or anything. But yeah, pretty cool to include. Then we get the interchangeable hands, so we get these clobbering time fisted hands, nice detail on them, decent paint as well. You can see the inside, and you've got the hinge here. So yeah, we get two of them, pretty decent. Just the same there. And then we get the open, more relaxed hands, I guess. These will be the blaster ones actually, so you can slot the blasters into there. And yeah, they look good. Once again, just the same here. And then we get the blast effects, so these are decent. We've seen these over and over again. Nice colour. I do actually really like this shade of blue. It's a wee bit warped actually looking at it, but I'm glad we do get blast effects with this Iron Man. Oh, this one is really warped. Look at that bit. Yeah, not too bad, but yeah, a wee bit warped. And then we get this shield, and it looks like it will just clip onto his arm there. Don't know what way it goes. Yeah, it must be this way. It looks alright. Once again, this shade of blue, all translucent. But yeah, nice, and once again, glad that they've included it. And let's finally get to Iron Man, and let's look at this head sculpt. Once again, absolutely fantastic. It's just a wee bit battle damaged, a wee bit scuffed up and bruised. Pretty much the exact same, but yeah, it has some more battle damage. But I'm so glad we get two of these Tony Stark head sculpts in this 2-pack, because I mean, I would take 100 off them. They're that great looking. And then we get the armour, and I do really like the look of this. We'll take a closer look at that Gauntlet in a minute. But I do have the initial release of this figure, and we can compare them later on. But this one definitely just pops that wee bit more. Really nice detail throughout. Got the arc reactor there, just the wee bits. I really like the gold. The gold really pops and stands out here. Don't know what was going on with the legs. I mean, if I got a stand, he's going to stand absolutely fine. But yeah, a wee bit of scuffing here. Is that meant to be there? Who knows? It's not coming off just now anyway. And yeah, looks great to me. And let's get to this Gauntlet. So that looks fantastic. I saw some people modding it a wee bit and doing their own silver throughout the glove, which looks great, but I'm happy with this. You see the Infinity Stones pretty clearly, and I'm presuming they're all in the correct place. I don't know by memory where they should be, and he's got the wee snap going, so I'm really happy that we get this hand included. I mean, how could they not in such a 2-pack? But there we go, that's Iron Man. We'll go back to him in a wee second compared to some other Iron Man figures, but first let's take a look at Thanos. And here is Thanos, and he is an absolute monster, which it means he does have monster feet, luckily for me. But we'll just do the same thing. We'll take a closer look at his accessories. This is his weapon, and it has some really nice detail, really nice paint as well. But you can see on the blade here, and then you get the gold, really nice actual ribbon and things going on in the middle, the blade again. So yeah, I really like this. It'll be great to pose him with it. And then you get the closed fist gauntlet, and I don't mind the red gauntlet here, especially if you manage to pick up the initial Thanos release, or was it a Build-A-Figure? I can't quite remember. I think it might have been. It's good to have this red one as a change, but I would prefer it if we did get the gold gauntlet, as that is what is mostly associated with Thanos, and this red one just completely looks odd with the gold in the figure, but we will look at the figure later. We get these 3 head sculpts. This one looks fantastic. I think they all look fantastic, but I do really like this one with the gold helmet and then the angry face. Really nice detail on the face there. Then great paint on the helmet. That gold, once again, just looks fantastic. Then we get a kind of smirking Thanos, a wee smug looking Thanos. I think this is the head sculpt I'll go for when I swap them over in the end. Yeah, this looks really nice. Once again, you can see the detail going right through his face. And yeah, I think this might be my favourite one. It's hard to say what one's my favourite actually, because they're all so good, but I might just prefer to go for that one because he's smug face. And we get a kind of neutral one, and yeah, looks pretty decent. Looks very like Josh Brolin. No, it doesn't look like Josh Brolin, but Josh Brolin as Thanos in the movie. I think they've really done well to capture his likeness. And then we get the one that's on Thanos, and I think this is probably the weakest. It just doesn't look that great. I don't know, like obviously it's meant to be him like dusting away, and it just kind of looks like, I don't know, maybe like the bad guy in the Hulk or something. Like, just looks like stones, or reminds me as well of all the kind of wispy stuff in the vacuum, which I guess technically is dust, but yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't look that great in figure form, and I definitely think it's the weakest, but it's still pretty good. I mean, we get the damage on his nose, and still a great likeness, but it just looks a bit odd. I suppose if you are familiar with the character, you're going to know what's going on there, but yeah, it is what it is. Looking at the rest of the figure, once again, the gold just looks fantastic. It really pops. I do love that colour. And the armour looks really nice. This is the only movie Thanos figure I have. I have the comic one that we did previously look at on the channel, but that is the only Thanos in the collection. And now I've got this movie one, and I'm really happy with it. It looks great. The armour is awesome. The grape kind of coloured skin tone looks pretty good with all the detail. The head sculpts are great. Take a look at the back of the figure. Yeah, I mean, the detail and the sculpt and everything is really held up all over this figure. I think it is a great movie, Thanos. I do like all the options we get with them. Just the only thing is really this gauntlet. It doesn't have any of the stones in it because Iron Man has stole them right from under his nose, but I wish it was gold. Instead of this red one, but maybe that's just personal preference. I know there's probably going to be folk the same as me, but I wouldn't be surprised if you did like this red one as well. So yeah, there is our movie Thanos. I'm going to swap the head and let's compare him to the comic one that we looked at on the channel. So here is our movie and comic Thanos, and I absolutely love both these figures. I kind of said everything I had to in the video I did on this one. I do really like the gold and everything, but I think I do prefer the movie accurate Thanos. Only really because I'm more familiar with him, but he does just look awesome. He is a lot taller. I don't know, he just looks like a monster. So does this one, but I think the realistic kind of vibe with this one is really winning me over. And for as long as he will stand, here is our 2-pack figures side by side, and they do look fantastic next to one another. I absolutely love this 2-pack. I knew I was gonna, but I mean, I'm blown away. These 2 figures are great. The paint on them and the sculpt and everything, they just look fantastic, and I do love the height difference, just the whole size difference between them. Seems pretty accurate, and yeah, they look great next to one another. And here is the initial release Endgame Iron Man with the 2-pack. And you can see the differences in the paint. There's a lot more silver in this one, and it seems to be darker on this figure here. The head sculpts are totally different because I've got the different head sculpts on, but we do get a lot more head sculpts with the second 2-pack release. But just the paint looks a lot different. The red is a lot brighter compared to this one here, and then the gold is a bit darker, and it really makes this one pop and stand out a lot more, I think, and I definitely do prefer this one, although I am liking how easy this one is to stand, even with the completely loose leg joints up here, yeah. And for another Iron Man comparison, here we have this one. I can't remember what movie he's from, but just look at the head sculpts. Oh man, that's maybe like, I don't know if I was to guess, maybe like 7 years, maybe more difference in Hasbro's Marvel Legends figures. This must have came out 7 or 8 years ago, right? I don't know, let me know down in the comments, but what a progression. I mean, it is pretty crazy how far they've come in a relatively short amount of time, and yeah, I think it's safe to say I prefer this figure, but wow. And there we have it for this video on this 2-pack, and I want to know what you guys think, because obviously I was really hyped for this pack and I finally got it in hand. I'm ecstatic, I'm excited, and maybe the hype got too much, maybe I'm just blowing this way out of proportion, but yeah, let me know down in the comments below, were you as hyped as me? Do you like it as much as me? Because I think this is pretty amazing. In this 2-pack, yeah, it costs retail £55, so that's like £27 a figure, not including the accessories, and we get 2 blast effects, a weapon, we get 3 pairs of hands altogether, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 head sculpts, a Thanos weapon, that interchange. We get a lot in this pack. And yeah, because it's a 2-pack, it's a bit more expensive, but I think it's definitely worth it. Especially going back to what I was saying earlier about the import figures. For an SHF figure, you're talking about £80 at least, and then the competitors such as Mafex and all that are around about the same value, if not even more. The fact that we get both these figures for £55 I think is a great deal, and it's mostly because of the Iron Man head sculpts. For me anyway, I mean, yeah, all the accessories are great and everything, but I'll be honest, I picked that 2-pack up because of the likeness to Robert Downey Jr. I think they've absolutely smashed it, and to get one of my favourite characters in figure form like this is just a no-brainer. It's absolutely amazing, and yeah, as I said, I've loved it. I think I've said everything I have to say in this video, so let me know down in the comments what you guys are thinking. And while you're down there guys, if you could do me a massive favour, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll leave the link to my Instagram down in the description below, so feel free to go and check that out. Feel free to go and check out any other videos on the channel page. But until next time guys, as always, I'll catch yous on the flip-flop later. Cheers.